where do we go? Where do we find that link? I think we'll go to maybe system, then go to, we should see it as a mockup lab. For the mockup lab view, let's stop the showcase. In the labs, there is a mockup last tab. Okay, so now this is where we're gonna leave for a while. I think we're gonna do it first. Okay, I'm gonna describe the user interface. I'm going to say, let's see. I want to design a permission gate for a UI for a CLI. And after I finish, okay, I'm going to do user interface, generate. Now we're generating, and I think for design, okay, said I'd like to have whatever message to make complete. Instead I say I finish. Okay, let me try that again. I'm going to try that again to see. Check context, understand what we're working with. Okay, so I think two things I notice. When we have a generate and it's generating, there should be a timer and a little spinner to show that it has not yet. So we should put that in our design system. Second, it seems like we have a interesting type of message. This is what I got. This was my answer. Question. And answer is this. So the answer is this. Okay. Which means that let us see if our, this is the IDE we're building. I want to make it into a dark. I want to change the theme. I think honestly, I think we, for our system user interface, will our home screen, our text should be brighter and bigger. We should allow some like zoom in, zoom out like text. But for the most part, the main dominant view is going to be called workspace. And instead of Explorer, we'll name that to workspace. And default is current directory. Okay, now I want to see if the system is going to have a different, let's go here, let's go to home. Now, let me check the settings. And what I'm trying to do is, we have the documentation. I guess I want to improve the chat system. The chat system is not working like it's supposed to. At the same time, I'm wondering if I've only two API endpoints. If I know what we're supposed to do. It's ENZ. Happen here is, let's check. It's okay. We'll wait for a bit. This is the liminal space. I can close this. And if you have a guy that is a chemist, interesting thing for you, I'm going to have some atomic things showing. So a nice visualization. Okay, so let's have a nice little visualization. So we have the agentic. Let's have another one called I would call it physics, and we'll have 6 kind of atoms or molecules that are the molecules responsible for life. They will be spinning with their formula and some fun fact each in a card. So this is for B and ZWGN. No, it is live. It is live. I'm just warming up. Okay. Now, let's go back to our I wonder if what should be the best. Okay, I think what we need is a more let me see what I can do with so this is the physics tab. If the guy who requested that is still watching, you're going to see it very soon. And let's click on physics. It is going to take a while. And then, like I said, we want bigger font, brighter font. Let me close this. Let me restart it. I'm going to restart it, and we're gonna go to physics to see if that works. In the meantime, let us go to our let's go here. Let's go to the mockup labs. We're gonna see if we're able to do that. I would like to create a permission gate user interface for when a CLI wants to ask for confirmation. Okay, so now it's generating. Let's see if that's gonna work. If that works, then that would be a great milestone. And confuse source. It has not given us any answer. Okay. All right. I haven't had an answer, so we'll have to debug this. Could you write that session to a file? And you'll know where to read it, so you can see the raw session and kind of understand how you would represent that in the user interface too. Okay. Now I'm gonna open a folder. I'm going to open the one called what to call link chain. No, actually we're going to select ourselves. Select folder. I'm going to import in chat. So it's importing. Meanwhile, for the guy this is, like I said, we're gonna do something kind of fun here. We're gonna do something fun. If you have any requests, just show it and then type in the comments, and then I'll make it happen. So I think we should cycle. So while we see all of the molecules, there will be a highlight and it will pop up the information, and each will last about 5 seconds. And move to the next one, show the next card. And also we'll have as a title for this page, and for any, type your requests in the comments, and then it will say last result from comment. So now I'm going to see if this is going to have a different. Please up. All right. So after this one has been, let's see. Okay, so this is what my agent has told me. Now I want to see. This is gonna be kind of amazing because I can transition. Okay. And I think, what if I say explain this code base? So now it's gonna explain the code base for us. And I'm gonna resize the panel. So this is, we'll see, there should be a timer here. I think I will also just have this panel. I think I think have like a lighter theme, or our text should be different. We will need also a panel that says kind of what we're working on to do, or something that basically gives us a context of what we're working on. And it's going to be a mix of ideas that we're typing, and also pending changes to give us some instant context, and then some fun fact agents or something. So this is actually amazing because now we can get a better sense of how things work. So now we are able to actually see the agent. So I think what we need is I would like to have a let's see if I could. Okay. Iterative self-correction, which is what we're working on right now. And also context awareness. Your developer workflow. So we are the reviewer. In a traditional workflow, a developer writes code and then submits it for peer review. In agentic workflow, the developer specifies intent and then reviews the agent's output. The cognitive work shifts from production to evaluation, a fundamentally different skill that rewards breadth of knowledge. Now, this is, we need I think what I need now is that it has been scanned. Can I preview the scan? And I see that it is TypeScript, and I can save to library. So now the project is saved. So now when the project is saved, get workspace, I can navigate the files. Okay, so this is progress. So I would want to see if let's see what I can do here. I think if I go into my workspace, can I read the code? That's gonna be the most important one, because okay, can I read the code? Can I read my index.html? Okay, so I've noticed something here, and I think this is what they call we can chat about it. Okay, that's good. But it's not yet okay. So I think for my first, I need some breadcrumbs for when we have a route or a system. And the second is, I think also our text editor should be wider. you know, so we can actually see more text. In the meantime, let me check my mockup maker, and I'm going to, it's a series of turn. Okay, so now how do we fix it, and how do we improve our user interface too? Okay, so let me check here. This was the request from a user. So this is the chemistry view, and this is the glucose, oxygen, and this is CO2. Raw material for photosynthesis. Starting point for all biological compounds. CH4, methane, simplest organic molecules. And we have ATP, which is the universal energy molecule. And we have ethanol. And we have DNA. And I think this is allowing us to just be smooth with things. Now, let me go back to the development environment. And there's a brain here called train of thought. I'm working on this. It's open. The notes. Okay. I think I need a... Okay. I'm going to create a chat card. Okay. So what I want to create now is I want to create a component called idea component. It is draggable and I can move it anywhere. And it has two views. It's an input and a viewer. Okay. So I'm starting to realize that here's what I'm learning from this. I think if I go to my wider, and I can say that custom operating systems, and I think developers at some point will have to realize that we have a bigger canvas to play with when it comes to interacting with the computer, and it's not a one size fit all. It's kind of like you go to the tailor for your own thing, and it's like an exoskeleton, and I can save that. Now I wonder if when I go to my let me go to mockup design, and can I create a mockup lab? Okay, I would like to design a permission gate for a CLI user interface. Okay, I click, it's generating. While it's generating, I want to see, okay, I've got an answer, and it says it wants this. In an ironic thing, it's also asking for clarification here. How would you represent this as a user interface when the AI asks for clarification? And let's make our change so that when the next time the user interface asks for clarification, we actually see that pop up, or that new screen that will help us provide that. Okay, so let me go. I need to fix the menu system. So, all right, so I think we need to fix our menu system. How about we hide everything, all the menus above, under a start button in the dock. Group them by different kinds of things. And then our secondary menu bar, we can delete that and instead make it become a thin breadcrumb. All right. While we have this going, let's see if we can check. We can read files. Okay. I need to know if I could have like a checkbox. And do we want... Okay, so terminal, dashboard. It's the dashboard. Train of thought. The first 1 GB hard drive weight 5,000. Okay. Let me see if I can... Toolbox is going to be different. Okay. Now, this is where I want to have the chat about the thing. Let's see something. I think in the when I go to the workspace and then I expand the workspace, I think that's where we should show me the context. There's gonna be a card or a button that shows me current context about project. Okay. Another thing I think I'm going to do here is idea card. Where's the idea card located? Maybe here, maybe in train of thought. How do I trigger it? How do I make it happen? How do I launch this idea card? And also we need a different theme. Let's have like a more sepia background and dark, super dark brown text, big, almost like courier type of text, so that it's easier to read, easier on the eyes. And the user, the last user that requested, I'm going to create some I'm going to check again to see. And maybe I've chosen not the brightest model. I will switch to because I think I'm using Sonnet, that's why. So let me, as a user interface, I would like to design a permission gate for a CLI UI for when a permission gate for when the CLI user interface asks me for permission or confirmation before taking action. All right, let's see. So I want to have this illustration, and I think I'm going to use look at that. This is what we were trying to do. This is exactly what I was trying to design. So I think I've solved this issue. And I can, could you clarify? And then it says, what type of action do you trigger? You see? So I would say, look at that. So it displayed an array of, so this is, so this is what I should do. I think based on my user interface experience, I would want to make this into a more let me see. I could interact with them. I cannot interact with them yet. So you see, it's the answers. It picks. Okay. Let's see, 5. Oh, okay. It's good for now. But I want to say for Claude Code, for a coding agent that lives on the command line interface. Okay, now let's see if it will be able to, oh, so it captures the original request and then it appends. Okay. Okay. It seems like that's what they call auto-regressive. So it's taking a while, but I want to see what it comes up with. If you have any requests in the comments. So this world here, you see, I can navigate it. I can navigate it. It's procedural animation. So I'm gonna wait. It's taking a while, so I wanna see what it's gonna do. What is it going to build? Okay, that was a good thing. When it asks for clarification, it provides me different panels. I click on one, the answer is compiled below. Maybe we could have that as like a tabbed panel where we can click, it saves the answer, highlights what we have selected. If it asks for comments, we can have the text box. And also I see in our prompt, maybe our prompt kind of box should be different, wider, maybe at a different side. That way when and also do the difference between original answer and additional answer. And also, how long should a request take? Does it come back with the answer after it has generated the markup? Okay. Now I want to see if my user interface looks different. I don't know where to. There's a small idea button, and this is it. I think I meant my entire application should have that sepia tone. It should be light sepia with dark text. Well, our entire program should have this light tone. Should be dark text with light sepia, like a solarized theme. Okay, now a app has crashed. Let's go back to the liminal space, and this is what I want to do now. I have this widget. I can speak and it interacts with my voice, with my voice, with my voice, with my voice. It interacts with my voice when I speak, when I speak, when I pull, when I do something, when I speak, when I speak. I've got a widget that reacts to my voice. I've got a widget that reacts to my voice. When I speak on that widget, it reacts to my voice. When I speak with that widget, it reacts to my voice, reacts to my voice, and reacts to my voice. As it loads, it becomes like a different world in here. Now, this is what an agent is. This is what an agent does. This is what the AI agent will do. Now, we're gonna do like that, and we're gonna speak on the radio. We're gonna speak on everything. and we're gonna see what is working. Now let me go in here now and let me, okay, so this has not worked. Could you design me a simple user interface for an Agentic IDE? Okay, let's see if that works. I want to see if that's going to work. Let's generate. And if that does not work, I would say alright, can you please look at your logs again, the recent chat logs, to see what is wrong and why. Okay. So this is like a universe kind of thing. Alright, let's see what we got. We got an error. Alright, let's improve this liminal space. Let's make it daytime. I'm going to do something actually kind of cool with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some design that I have in another project. I think it's in the mark. And it has the post LLM workflow. We have the mockup. And I'm gonna copy this post LLM. Copy. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to delineation. I'm going to say post. I'm going to now go into so these are the kind of actions. I call them verbs. Let's go to gallery C. So there's this one called descend. So descend is how do I say this? It's like okay. So we are going to do some work. We're gonna expand our liminal space. Now imagine we'll have 6 type of liminal spaces now based on these concepts. Right now they're in flat 2D, so we'll have to make them in 3D based on our original liminal space. I'm gonna create a new type. And I think I should we're going to choose a new model. And why not? Let me go and see. Still glitchy. It's okay. See how glitchy it is? So I'm going to go back to okay, so now you see it's a little different. I think I have to go into my other screen. Okay, this is gonna be building my graph with physics. I can go back and close it. And now I like this one. This one is like the concept of what? Of sift. So it's like, you see that line right here? It has this index. And we have the sand is my favorite. Release is a nice one too. It's like release. And we have kindle, which is like closer, lighter fire. And then we have still. Kind of stay still. If nobody types anything in the comment in the next 60 seconds, I'm ending the stream. Because if you're interested in the content, okay, now I would like to design a simple permission gate for when a CLI agent is asking for permission. Let's see if that works. Any better than the option that we had before. And I want to see any source of potential memory leak. It is running abnormally high. And then what we're gonna work on is also, okay, let me go back here, and then I'm going to close this for a while. Okay, now we have this. It's gonna be a new version. Now, oh, please address all of these so we can have now I'm going to generate a new request, and I think you should be able to capture that and see what happens, because currently right now after I press generate, it generates for a few seconds and then no answer, no replies. So and I think I have to create this new terminology here. If you like music, do you like the music or do you want something different? We're waiting for the, see, this is not working. So let's go to Agentic. I can go to here. I have a start menu now. So this is the important one now, because I have a start menu and I can see my programs. I think I can see all my programs, and I can go to my idea pad and I can tap an idea. Now everything of these are agent first. I think what I need is a code editor and code viewer. But right now, I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm going to try that now. I'm going to restart the server and I'm going to run the UI. And we're gonna go to 78783. Gonna check this. It's not loading here. I think it has an additional digit. So session implemented. That is good news. I want to replay. And now we have music. A little bit, not too much. Now the goal is going to be to, okay, so now we have a super simple home screen now, and it just says idea pad. So I'm going to actually go into my writer. I'm going to clear all of, I'm going to go and clear all the ideas here. Delete, 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 escape. If you double click, it opens it. So I'm going to delete all the ideas. Okay. I'm going to say we have a workspace. I want to make sure my chat system is working. So I'm gonna go start. I'm gonna go to, we should have it as the proper, you know what I think? I think our start we should have these kind of collapsible panels, you know, like the original start button, where we can group them. We'll have a start has this list, and then every list on hover will reveal more detail. I think that will make it organized better. Okay, so I want to go to Mockup Lab. I want to go now. I would like to create a permission gate for a CLI agent for when it's creating a user interface, that it will show confirmation or and I think it's good to stay in one for a while. And I wonder, your task, no, I'm going to go to model. I want to have an assessment of all of my features with a score of utility, completedness, complexity, and I also will want to have another prompt. That prompt is to these are two tasks basically. First task is the first task I tell you. The second task is to go into our list of features and then see, is it worth re-implementing from scratch, or is there a library open source that can support that part of the system? If it needs like if it has a UI built in, we would bring that UI in. Otherwise, we have a table that has recommendation table, and show that also in the user interface. Now let's refresh my page. Let's see if I go to start, and I have this old-fashioned I think you know, like Windows used to have it. Let me see if so. That's some good work today. Well, it was 2 hours of work. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Why don't we try some other stuff? I think I'm gonna upload this file. And in big font, we want to have how to make an AI agent from scratch. That would be the poster title text. Okay, so this feature is not working. Let me see if I go to here. If I go to start. Well, I think it should be a reveal panel, kind of like reveals to the right. So that will be an exploration of old paradigms. I think that's what I should do. Okay, so now let me actually check the new liminal to see if this was done. I wonder if that's gonna work. I wonder if that's gonna work. I wonder if that's going to work. I wonder if that's going to work. I wonder if we'll have a new theme. If you have a request, please type it in the comment. Let's go back to our application. Let's check the design page, and this is our design system. So that's the design system that I have. And now I think high impact replacements would be, is there a page that can give this recommendation here? I'm wondering, why didn't you put that result in the web page? All that result that you've given it, can you show it on a web page for me, please? And under, I don't know, whichever most appropriate, so that I can view it. We have our change log. This is our git changes, but I want to see if it's collapsible. There we go. This is an agentic. We can call it a launcher. It doesn't have to be called start menu. This is like the most advanced agentic, I guess, user interface in the world. Can we call it that now? It's like agent first user interfaces. So I think we'll need a title here, a quick title. Okay, I'm gonna create a new mockup lab. I'm going to say I want to create a landing page that basically says agent, native, or user interface. Okay, it's generating. Let's see if it's going to create something here. I think after 4.6 seconds, nothing happened. Please check, see what happens in the backend. Let's see what our liminal is doing. We have this agentic. Now we're building the, let's see, not yet memory systems. This is like longer, but it's the feedback loop. I think that's what is interesting right now, is having a feedback loop, and you can act on the environment. So to act on the environment, what am I going to do here? You know, if I focus on this, well, if I want to act on the environment, I can act on the environment like that. I can go here and I can act on the environment. I can act on the environment. So this is this user interface. I think that is very important, and I think we have to redo it because you have to understand the system really close. I'm thinking, what should I do here? So this tells us we have to be able to act on the environment. And I want to check my new integrated development environment. I think what can be done here is let's see the liminal space, refresh, and scene. Where are the verb labels? Okay, so I think let's see, got a task, got font too small, too dim, dark text sucks. We should put it as light, maybe light theme. And let's have a left navigation panel so that the right panel is more focused on the content. And have some little mock-ups. Okay, but high impact. Let's see, issues that our system has is I'll change the name as it comes, but now the code name is relay. You know, that's the code name of the project. There's also this idea of to build or to buy. To build or to buy. And I think to build or to buy. To build or to buy. What do you think? I think for me is what should be the most important part? I wonder if, okay, so multi-step chain builder. I was trying to do that in TypeScript, but I think okay. Let's see. Okay, this is what I think I'm going to do. If you're watching and you find this content very useful to you, please send me a like or let me see. Before it runs the app on the server, check if that server is busy and then try another one. Okay, so now let me refresh this. Let's go here. Let's go to the start menu. Let's go to let's see, capture reference queue. Anybody wants to work as a okay, I think I'm still thinking about this idea of where interface flows with your brain and it's like moving and you're not stopping, and it doesn't have to fit. Sometimes a lot of user interfaces are compromises over maybe I don't know. That's why it's a thought. It's not refined. Okay. See, it's not, doesn't have to be anything. See, I have a bug here. I cannot close this panel. And I want to write an article that talks about that. And let's see what he has come up with. I think it should be bigger and more detailed, and it should be like a podcast. Okay. I have to watch out for memories. Okay, it's launching. There we go. See, sometimes you have to know the user interface and actually have more taste. I think that's what it is. So let me go to my feature scorecard. And I think what's important is that 18, 28 features so far, and the scorecard is I would say that maybe build versus buy. Ooh. I think we can redesign the tables for scorecard and for build versus buy. We should represent them better. Okay, so visualization of the system. I want to check on my agent that is building the liminal space. Let's see if I can refresh there. I'm going to maybe it needs a restart. Let's restart it. It's gonna open it on 74. I would say I do not see the link to it. I see the bottom bar, but is it widget? No, it's not widget. That's that reacts to the voice, but that's not the one we need. I think we need can close this, can have the maybe it's worlds. These are the worlds. So that's Kindle. We have another world called Release, and that's the most beautiful visualization I've created. So I was interested in what they call procedural animation, and what you can do, you can actually zoom in there to actually see the world. Yeah, it's so interesting. Here's descend. Descend avait dit la descend, on va cap descend. C'est comme si on a c'est neige cap tomber. Ouais. Il en l'air. And then comme si on a son poteau électrique. Okay, sift là c'est comme si son filtre. Ouais, ici. Comme si on va cap filtrer. And I think that's the most important part, is being able to create those virtual worlds. I think I should put that in the comment. Having an intermission now, I am exploring virtual procedural worlds, environments. It's the most beautiful one. Ooh, look at that. Oh my god, this is nice. This is nice. Oh. Wow. This is beautiful. Wonderful. Commit these changes, and then I would add maybe 4 more different worlds, and if we could have like a nice title called Post LLM. So this one is so nice. Okay. think about the fundamentals. I'm gonna keep it improving. The post LLM model. What is a post LLM model? Visualizing the post and if anybody's watching, can you please tell me, give me a little thumbs up? Okay, I have redesigned this page. Also would want to have start menu, start, now I want to work with my first feature idea tab. Okay. So now I'm going to test my own software right now. Have the ability to have to update my train of thought based on ideas. The ideas, it would kind of give me an action, suggested actions to do. And also, can we make the idea box bigger? And also, can our inspect always be above everything so that we can inspect? Okay, so now what happens after I have this idea? Something should happen. In the meantime, let's copy this. So it's a draft. So what do I do after it's a draft? I can edit, I can escape. I want to refine it. Send to refinement. Okay, I send it to refinement. Now, what happens here? Okay, so I want to say that let's go feature by feature. Alright, so let's go feature by feature. I think when I am in the idea pad, I create an idea. Then if I click on this idea, I think it should reveal on the left side the list of ideas, the selected idea, on the right side the panel, action panel for the idea. The action panel will have a button to refine. When I click refine, something should happen. It should process. I should see a timer, and then after that it should reply with the refined text. And the refined text now should supplant the original text. We still store the original text, but now the new text has a refined tag, and that's what we can see. We can take another action, which is to and will show us trigger background implementation session, and it should be kind of like bypass permissions because we shouldn't wait for clarification, or should we? Okay, I think it's gonna display us. Now let's check our world. Let's check our post LLM world. Let's go to every world should have a flying maneuver, which you can maneuver, and after the end of the maneuver to transition to the next world. And if we could make our worlds brighter, maybe do some more sense of the outside world. Okay. This one is my favorite. Wow. This is the most amazing one. Kind of flat. Procedural world is the most interesting thing I've ever built. Wow. Void. The text should be brighter. Right now it's a bit dark. That's a much better view, honestly. Okay. Well, utility high-low. I think it would look better with bar graphs. It also will have some suggested feature bundle to keep for release 1, and the rest we can have them as nice to have. But we want like the MVP, suggested MVP bundle. And then we have the mockups for we'll have a strategic summary. So this is what we can replace. And then, meanwhile, let's go back to the mockup lab to see if the mockup lab feature can do something. I'm going to start, I'm going to build, or private labs. I'm going to mockup lab, and now I'm going to say I would like to create a simple YouTube kind of clone home screen. I want to see what happens here. Ideally, I would like to see what's happening. Okay, so it shows me it's gonna create a bold magazine aesthetic, which is nice. CLI is talking back to us. And now, when I click an idea, please screen mode. Yes. So it's either we have a structured output or we need to find a way to capture the proper output when it gives us the output so we can present that and actually preview it. And I hope these can collapse, right? These can collapse. Collapse. Okay. So this is speaker is still not ready. So let's go back to our liminal zone. Let's refresh this. Let's have a flag. Refresh to see how that's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little break, and in the meantime I'm gonna let the agent speak. So this is what we have so far, and I would want to continue this, but that's if only people are watching. Please write in the comment what other world you would like to see while we're building our agent. Let me refresh this page. Okay, so now I have the views for the agents and what to do with them. But before we do that, I want my narrator to work. It's still narrating. And then oh my god. This is the most beautiful, with this retro futuristic kind of look at that. Some are look better than others, and it's hard to
This is the liminal space, the threshold between a program that simply talks and an entity that acts. Today, we aren't talking about using AI. We are talking about architecting a digital consciousness from the ground up. To build an AI agent from scratch, you have to stop thinking like a writer and start thinking like a god of a very small, very specific universe. An agent isn't just a large language model. An LLM is a brain in a jar. It's brilliant, but it's paralyzed. To turn that brain into an agent, you have to give it three things: a memory, a body, and a will. The foundation, choosing the cognitive engine. It starts with the core. In this post-LLM era, building from scratch doesn't mean training a trillion-parameter model in your basement. It means choosing your open weights. You reach for models like Llama 3 or Mistral. These are your raw materials. But to make them run from scratch on your own hardware, you have to understand quantization. You are taking these massive mathematical giants and shrinking them, compressing their weights into 4-bit or 8-bit precision so they can fit into the VRAM of your GPU. But here is where the scratch part gets real, the system prompt. This is the agent's DNA. You aren't just saying you are a helpful assistant. That's amateur hour. You're defining its logic gates. You are telling it, you inhabit a loop. You will not speak to the user until you have verified your own logic. You will think in hidden monologues. You are setting the temperature, perhaps to a cool point 2. You don't want a poet, you want a surgeon. You want a mind that calculates the most probable path to a solution without the hallucination of creative flair. The sensory array, building the library of Babel. Once the brain is humming, it needs to know things. An agent without a memory is just a ghost with amnesia. This is where you build the RAG stack, retrieval augmented generation. You take the vast, unorganized data of the world, PDFs, code bases, legal transcripts, and you shatter them. You break them into chunks. Then you pass these chunks through an embedding model. This turns human language into vectors, long strings of numbers that represent a location in an n-dimensional space. You are building a map where Apple the fruit is mathematically far from Apple the tech company, but close to orange. You store these in a vector database, like ChromaDB or Weaviate. Now, when your agent is asked a question, it doesn't search for words, it feels for the mathematical proximity of the answer. It reaches into the database, pulls out the relevant context, and shoves it into its short-term memory, the context window. You've just given your agent a library that it can read in a millisecond. The motor cortex, giving the ghost hands. But a brain that remembers is still just a librarian. To make an agent, you need function calling. This is the motor cortex. You have to write a bridge between the world of words and the world of zeros and ones. You define a toolbox. These are Python functions. Maybe one tool is web search, another is terminal execute, and another is send email. You don't give the agent the code, you give it the description of the code. The agent looks at a problem and says, to solve this, I need the terminal execute tool. It then outputs a structured JSON block. Your backend, the body you built in Python or TypeScript, intercepts that JSON, runs the actual code on your machine, and feeds the result back to the agent. Suddenly, the ghost has fingers. It can check your calendar, move files, or trade crypto. It is no longer talking about the world. It is moving things within it. The reasoning loop, the heartbeat of agency. Now we reach the most critical part, the reasoning loop. In the industry, we call this the react pattern, reason plus act. This is the heartbeat. Without a loop, an AI responds once and dies. With a loop, it lives until the job is done. You program the agent to follow a cycle. 1. Thought. The agent writes down what it thinks is happening. The user wants me to fix the bug in their React code, but I don't see the file yet. 2. Action. It picks a tool. I will call readFileIndex.js. 3. Observation. It looks at the output of that tool. The file has a syntax error on line 42. 4. Reflection. It evaluates its progress. I have found the error. Now I must fix it. This loop repeats 5 times, 10 times, 100 times. The agent becomes a self-correcting entity. If the tool fails, it tries a different one. If it gets confused, it thinks its way out. You are building a system that can wander through the liminal space of a complex problem and find the exit on its own. The architecture of the soul, fine-tuning and ethics. As you get deeper into the build, you realize that the standard model isn't enough. You start fine-tuning. You take your agent and you train it on your specific style, your specific data. You use techniques like LoRa, low-rank adaptation, to tweak the model's weights without needing a supercomputer. You are carving a personality out of the digital marble. But with this power comes the architect's burden. You have to build the guardrails. You write evaluator scripts, a second small AI that watches the first one. It checks, is the agent getting stuck in a loop? Is it trying to delete the root directory? Is it hallucinating data that doesn't exist? You are building the conscience of the machine. The final step, deployment into the void. Finally, you wrap it all in an interface. You use WebSockets for real-time streaming, so you can see the agent's thoughts as they flicker across the screen. You host it on a server, perhaps using Docker to containerize its environment so it can't escape its sandbox. You hit enter. The agent wakes up. It doesn't ask you what to do, it tells you what it is doing. It's searching, it's coding, it's reflecting. It is a post-LLM entity. You've successfully navigated the liminal space. You've taken raw code and high-dimensional math and turned them into a partner. Building an AI agent from scratch isn't just a technical challenge. It's the closest we've ever come to digital alchemy. You started with nothing but a blinking cursor, and now something is blinking back.